screens, and I can't express this enough when I say that gray screens do not read color and don't read contrast. And they read white levels, you have to do that. But they just don't read that color and contrast. They're not ambient light projection or none of those things they claim to be. This is what they don't do. Now, this is a product that we've got from a YouTuber who sold gray screen paint products on his website and eBay listing account. He did a lot of line in his demonstrations using high-powered machines, dark environments, calibrated machines, 4K enhancement technology to try to make his products look something that he claimed them to be, that they weren't. We call this product the refusal. Why? Because we did send this product to his address, his business address, to get it sent back. We posted the tracking numbers. Everybody had it. They can see the package in transit and where it's going to. And he was the only person who could cancel the item because it had a series restriction label on it, which cost us $31. All right, so in the demonstration, which we saw under the Frankenstein, this used to be a lighter mix at one point. It was changed out at the last minute when it was sent to us. Again, you go to the blacklist, you can clearly see that we won a PayPal claim, which we did show on the video, and he lost his because, again, he changed the chopping part at the last minute. So this product used to be like gray. So this is a reaction we're getting. A Frankenstein video, which he shows the final test of that product, which that nowhere near should have been a final test, the screen was completely washed out. A projector he was using is 600 by 800 720p Epson projector. And that's the same one we have over there, which is 1,000 lumens too. Also, we use those outside. This projector we're using on the Cumi is 300 lumens with a 10,000 to 1 contrast, which means it has a lower lumen count than the projector we used in the demonstration. It's sitting closer than the other one in the demonstration. And keep in mind, we have a 10,001 contrast sitting on it, which those projectors don't have. So it should be to read quite nicely. But as you can see, we're getting the same reaction that we got in the final test of the Frankenstein, which came out washed out like this, which he considered to be a fantastic product. Yeah, this is why. And now, keep in mind, as we said, we're claiming all gray screens, because we do. All gray screens have this issue. Now, we're not going to do the tit for tat, back and forth, da-da-da-da. We don't have time for that. If you want to rant and carry on your channel, and one of my people pick it up from there, then we'll see you in court. Then you'll be sued for a lot more money, and there may be some criminal charges fall behind that too. That's how that will go down. If you feel at the end of the day that anything I said out of my mouth, you feel that we're using special equipment, whatever, then sign the contract to see in court. It's going to cost you $1 million if you lose that contract. We're going to go through. You'll be coming here to the state of Pennsylvania, of course, and you'll be going to a courtroom, and we'll do it from there. Not a problem. If anyone feels at the end of the day that their products do what they claim they do, let's go to court. It's just simple and plain. I don't got time for the shenanigans back and forth. No, cut and dry. Let's go to court. Let's get it done. If you want to cry and whine on your channel and you are not man enough to walk into a courtroom and you'd rather whine and cry, we catch something on there that disrespects my company anyway, you're going to be forced to go into that courtroom now. And this will cost you far more than what we have on the contract. So careful how you step and how you speak. Back it up. So right here, as I said before, gray screens don't read. Now, again, some people sit there and say, well, that's a lie. My gray screen reads 100% black. How much money and how much confidence and faith do you have in your product are you willing to take this to court? That's what it really comes down to. A lot of you guys are on there lying and saying things you're not supposed to be saying about your product. You can't do this. It has limitations. How much are you willing to wager into a courtroom to prove that your product actually does function as you says it does? Because if you sold any of this stuff to anybody, not being able to back it up into a court of law, you got bigger problems coming out. Because now we can get you for consumer fraud. It's an open runway for consumer fraud complaint you can file against you. The customer in no way should ever be suffering with a screen that looks that poor. You see how washed out those colors are? That is awful. But by some people, at the end of the day, they feel that if you can see that image, it's considered to be perfect. This is what our technology does to a gray screen. No, here you go. Reality check. See? That's what they say. They'll say you this and go, oh, look at this. Look at the colors. Everything is pushing up on the screen. It looks absolutely amazing. You're getting beautiful color. I'm only using a projector at 300 lumens and you're picking up an image that looks like this. This is how they'll sell it to you. And we look at this and go, the screen's washed out. And we'll say, hey, them at the end of the day, your screen's washed out. And they were like, no, the screen's not washed out. Look at the color. That screen's not washed out. No. Your colors are too low. They're washed out. The screen is definitely washed out. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, whatever. And then we'll get into a courtroom where you have to pay Mr. Bird $1 million with interest. Because we'll do that to you in a courtroom. So, question is again, how many of you are willing to take the leap against us? You do not want this happening to you in the courtroom. We're going to bring the same setup. The same thing we're doing here, bring it right in there. I can operate in that environment with no problem. Heck, I can operate outside. So inside, out there in the courtroom, easy. We're at 24,000 in here. 24,000. That's literally what I operate in here. A courtroom is nowhere near that. And our lights are closer to us than the courtrooms. We can operate in there with no problem. But anyway, how much are you willing to put up? So I would advise, before this gets started, if you are a grade screen at the end of the day, that you need to really tell the truth about those specifications. Now, for people at the end of the day saying always being a bully, no, not being a bully at the end of the day. It needs to be done. So let me get this straight. So you should have a right to rip off consumers at the end of the day. They deserve to be robbed. Because that's clearly what you say that. When you make a statement that we're bullying using bully tactics, no. You're stating that you don't want to be questioned on your product and you would rather continue to sell false products to your customers, which means you're ripping them off. Does it work or does it not work? I'm not buying something at the end of the day that you don't know that works. That's crazy. Reality check ahead. This is reality check. Gray screens don't read at all. Now, you see how our image looks next to that gray screen? That's the same reaction where Black Diamond doesn't have a black screen. At that time it didn't. But that's what I went through. I went through that exact same thing. I saw the advancements over a darker screen over my gray screen paint products. Now today, we have a black screen. Well, we have multiple black screens at that. We have technology designed to take out anything we point in the direction to do. It'll knock out every single gunmetal technology couldn't withstand that screen. I got one here. It would not be able to withstand the screen. We've done dozens and dozens of tests on certifies, and we got letters from some of these companies. So with that being said, it shows at the end of the day that the diamond technology was exactly right when it was leaning toward a darker screen. The guy who engineered the Black Diamond, the 1.4, didn't engineer a light gray screen. He introduced a dark screen. That's what I saw when I laid it against my paint. Now, technically it's not black, of course, but still, it did that type of damage. And that was enough for me to see at the end of the day that we got to change things quick. And now, we developed black technology. Before they do, but they do have a black screen now, which is fantastic. Look at that. That is absolutely, and this is what people have gray screens, this is what you're getting right now. So if you think that for a hot minute that because you're in your home and you're sitting there watching your screen, it looks like this, and you're reading color, you don't pick up color. You're not even seeing it. You're not even close to picking up a red screen. A red color, you can't read it. It's washed out. Now, any company, I don't care who you are at the end of the day, your sister sits in the day, well, they just want to want the crowns on their head. We don't do that. I don't appreciate that one. Don't appreciate that. Not supposed to be doing that. Only one person had the right to do that. All right, right there. Again, washed out. Where's the rest of the screen? Now, if I get you in the courtroom, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, where's the rest of my screen? Especially if I paid for your product and I got it down here for testing. Where's the rest of the screen? Is that supposed to be red? That's not red. So either you're trying to convince me you're colorblind. How in the world would you mistake that for red? Look at Jersey's darker colors than that. Tell me where that's red. We picked up the skin tone, her black hair, and the red. Where's the rest of it on the gray screen? Where's the rest of that red? Where is it? That's the reality check. Now, again, they can get mad and carry on and act up and have their fits at the end of the day. That doesn't mean jack to us at the end of the day. It doesn't. You can go on a rant about whatever you want. Don't care. As long as we don't see anything on there that we can basically get you into a courtroom with and file charges against you, yeah. But we don't care. You can call me a liar from sun up to sundown. But if you feel that strongly about it, let's go to court. That's all you got to do. And since most of you, if not all of you, don't want to do that because you would rather just cry on your channel all day long, then it just speaks volumes. This is not, we're not doing that. That's disrespectful for Jesus. Now, remember the cherries. Remember he showed you how he said in the demonstration, this is the fellow who sold the Frankenstein and claimed that the product pulled to this beautiful image. He thought this image that came out, that ashy washed out image, was beautiful color. Because you heard him on camera talking about how beautiful the colors are and how they're supposed to look amazing, da 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 da. No, 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 no. I can tell by looking at that, a lot of people in the forum site saw it and could see it. All of its followers didn't see it. Really? You guys, this is why anyone who follows Jamie, you don't get the credibility. You can't walk into a forum site because of the product that you bought, because people look at it as if you don't know what you're talking about, because you literally thought this product right here was an amazing product. So the problem is that the screen paint didn't do what it was supposed to do. That color is washed out. Let's go remove it, show you what it's supposed to look like on our technology. That's what you're supposed to be reading. That's what you're supposed to pick up. You don't need a 4K projector. You don't need a 1080p projector to do that. You do it on a basic 720p projector. This thing's under 600 by 800 res. These things aren't 600 by 800 res. They're underneath that. Look at that. Even this is what's also missing too. Look at the cherries. Look at the shine. The light of shine. Look at the light right here shining off of them. Can't even pick that up. It's washed out. They both got the same paint on them, by the way. Now I'm going to shoot a short one on this one. I'm going to put it right next to the other one, so you can see the side by side on how badly the screen was washed out and what you were losing in the demonstration. This is why products have to be properly tested. That's why testing is very important. This is why when I told you not just his product, but all gray screens have this issue. Because again, they can't pick up that 100% contrast, which is a must. It's a definite requirement to have that 100% contrast. It's needed. If they tell you that the projector is going to help you, projector can't help you. It has 10,000 to 1. It can't read on the gray screen. It can't help you. I don't care what kind of contrast you're in projector, it won't help you. You have to have both parties have to work together in order to get this to work. Can't be one-sided. So if you're depending on your projector to fix the problem, it's not going to help you. You're going to fail miserably on that. And you know what this is going to do? This is going to cost you money, and it's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you. Number one, it costs you money because you really need to spend the money for that type of projector. It's not necessary if the screen work correctly. In fact, if you have to spend more money for the projector, it means your screen's not working correctly. My projector costs $40. So he pays $3,300 for a setup, and I paid $40, and I produce a better image than him. Gee whiz Louise. It baffles me, how many people got ripped off. It does. It baffles me how I look back And I see his customers, and I watch his customers, all his customers in a dark environment. Some of them are revised to show up very light colors, so that way it shows that it fades off less. But when you're doing a standalone, you have no comparison there. This is where you have issues with your line. Now, for this individual, well, he's got a lot coming his way. I had to do some stuff earlier this morning. I got to go back in again, file some more documents today. But yeah, he's got a lot of problems coming his way. A lot of problems. This is not even close to half the stuff this guy's in trouble for. But anyway, as for speaking of all gray screens, yeah, y'all have the same problem. You do. You definitely have the same problem. I can order a bunch of your grays and you'll all react the same way. You'll have the same reaction. In order to pick up color, you have to read 100% black to do it. It gets worse and worse, man. It gets worse and worse every time I hit that mouse. It gets worse and worse. That's why I keep stopping it. Why I stop it? It's a reality check. Give you a chance to absorb all that in. So you can see exactly what a lot of you right now are sitting up with a gray screen, what you actually are seeing. Because right now I got people contact me and say, well, I see red. And I show them this video and say, how much red do you see now? Reality check. There you go. The 1980 illusional poster, illustrated poster. Now you see the flying saucer, don't you? You didn't see that first, did you? The whole entire time you're sitting there at home and you're looking at your screen, you don't see that flying saucer behind there. I see the flying saucer. You don't see the flying saucer. It's right there. You can't see it. How do we improve the picture right here? You got to turn your lights out to improve the picture. Shouldn't have to turn your lights out to improve the picture. Let's show you the flying saucer. You're not going to see a real flying saucer, but there you go. That's literally how much you're missing. So if you have to turn out the lights and your setup just get those colors to pop a little better, you already know the answer. You should never have to turn the lights out, especially if it's the technology with a 2.0 gain sitting on top of it. Look at the grains. Grains don't even read. What did you guys buy? Really, what did you buy? What did you buy at the end of the day? When I tell you that, this is the Apex Gamer. An Apex Gamer technology, anything we develop with the gamer embedded into it, is a screen that can pick up color levels that other screens can't even, they wouldn't even be able to even hit the level that a gamer can read. Gamers can read outstanding color capabilities. Not only that, they can do it with projectors that pretty much cost far less than what most people use in demonstrations today. Their black levels are immaculate. Why? Because they read 100% Infinity One black levels. Their white levels generate extremely high, because without the white levels, that bright green wouldn't be able to pop. Combine that together with a gain that our gain is incredible. It's the ultimate screen. Any gray screen laying against it wouldn't even exist. We have the SFEG black version of it. You see those things do the gray screens? They alter and change the color of the gray screen. Because their gain levels are literally so high that they can actually change screens, so you alter their colors. If you claim your screen has something has a yellowish tone, we can make your screen have a yellowish tone with that stuff. I got a large surface coming in 24 by 36. I'm going to be showing it off. A 24 by 36 black version of the S. Oh my goodness. And it's going to be at 60% completed. You watch what it does with gray screen. You won't even recognize it. But anyway, getting back to real technology. Our technology here, in my gray screens at the end of the day, that's literally how much you're missing. That's a lot of color. My major projectors calibrate. We don't calibrate jack. I hate calibrating. I can't stand it. You'll never catch me calibrating a projector ever. Calibrate what? I wish somebody would. I spend that much money for a projector for 1.7 billion colors. I wish you would tell me to calibrate that machine. Oh, you're doing me. I'm calibrating what? 1.7 billion colors, and you want me to calibrate because the machine can't read color? There's nothing wrong with the P2. The P2 reads perfect color. Your screen doesn't read it. That's what the problem is. Don't blame it on the projector. It's your screen that's messed up. Look at that. Look at the change in that. Look at this. People without our product, this is what you get. Our customers, on the other hand, that's what they get. That's why my customers can go outside with our products. Majority of the demonstration you see of my customers are in super well lit environments and freaking outside. And then you see other people's stuff and y'all sitting in the dark, screens are probably pulling up, they're washed out, they're faded, got an ashy look to the surface. Y'all got ripped off. It's a shame. You're not laughing at you, just got ripped off. God robbed you. And then the rest of these gray screens calling themselves being ambient light rejection, you're not even close to an ambient light rejection technology. Why the heck are you turning your lights out? Because we want to give it a more movie theater experience. Don't feed me that bull crap at the end of the day. I'm not the everyday Joe. Why do you turn your lights out? That's how we were able to get Valve projector to emit. I'm posting it, by the way. We got a second one posting that too. To admit that their projectors were 1080p base, no 4K base projector. You lost your mind. You got a person that you can go in there and lie to. Now we know our stuff at the end of the day. I got them to admit that projector is 1080p base. You feed you and you lie. Look. Oh my goodness. This is what frustrates me about this stuff. People bought this stuff? I'm in forum sites with people like people have purchased this stuff. And is it to make them feel bad? No. If you are a person who, we had people on his account who basically bragged and said the product was amazing, it was through the roof, it was this, that, and the other. Those people at the end of the day deserve what they get. You got some people then, like the guys watching a soccer game, we feel sorry for them because these are people that first time experience buying a projection screen set up. These are the ones we feel sorry for because these are the ones got robbed out of the experience. They should have never went through that mess ever. But these other people that went in there that supported that nonsense and continue that nonsense to keep going, they didn't do proper videos. They lied and cheated in their own reviews to try to make his product look good. You guys are going to be under investigation because when we get done with him, we're going to be searching you out next because you did help him sell this product on this level knowing that stuff didn't work. Well, don't think he's going to take a hit at the end of the day. It's just with him. No. We're going to track down all the individuals. We have your videos of you bragging about this product and making false statements that you knew that product wasn't working. So you're involved in this too. So I think at the end of the day, you're going to get away scot-free. Oh, heck no. You advertise this stuff. If you got a person out there and he's scamming, he's selling something that you know is a scam, but you're helping him sell this, guess what? You're part of that too. You become accessory to the crime. That's what you are. And there are people who basically helped him sell this product to rip off more innocent customers. Now, like I said, for the person who sat there screen washed out, I feel sorry for that guy because that guy really actually believed that stuff was going to work. Did you ever sit down and watch the demonstration of how he did the whole setup in there? I watched it. He did that whole thing himself, the ceiling and all that. That was going to be his theater room. And he had 2 big windows in there. I guess he was hoping to open up the windows and be to see the light come in and see the screen. That's what he wanted. Because I'm pretty sure he probably saw our demonstrations of us doing that. And probably Fernando probably told him, oh, that guy's a scammer at the end of the day. Buy my product instead. And that guy got ripped off. And his projector is a very good one. He puts up there what the name of the projector is. A very good projector. 500,000 to 1 contrast on that projector. Next image is absolutely heartbreaking to watch. He said unenjoyable. Everything else he spoke in Spanish, but I heard him say unenjoyable. That's a shame. So that's why these new rules that we're putting in place of challenging your companies in court is because it needs to be done. Because you're not telling the truth to the consumer. And some of you want to base it off the projector's higher performance. The more money you spend on the projector, the better the image. That's a lie. I got a $40 projector over here, and I'm showing an outstanding image on our product. That's a lot of pictures missing. Now, back it up here a minute. I'll show you right here, because we're on our QME. That's my QME projector right there. This is how close we are to the screen, and that's how much of the picture quality we have lost on our projector on the gray mix. As you can see, it's a lot. What the heck is going on here? Look at this. Gone. It's not even there. It's gone. Now, the person who made this product, they're probably saying, oh, he does this because it has nothing to do with hatred. You ripped a lot of people off. You have to accept your reality. You have to accept that you were not truthful when you sold this product. It has nothing to do with hatred towards you, Fernando. So you understand that. Nothing to do with that. You're a criminal, number one, and I went through the proper people to get that taken care of today. You're also a person who has ripped off a lot of his customers. But you want to be a Karen at the end of the day and chalk it up to, oh, I'm being hated on. Buddy, your product doesn't work. You lied to people. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You are a criminal. That's what courts are for. Courts are so when we go to court, you're going to have to show that you're this innocent person and you never did anything wrong. That's what you have to do. And we, on the other hand, are challenging you in court. That's what we're doing. That's how that works. You don't get a chance to go on camera and cry and try. Oh, no, you don't do that. You take it to court. I've given you many opportunities. I've said it multiple times in videos. If you feel that anything we do here is false, let's go to court, and I've heard nothing from you at all whatsoever. So we've already taken the steps to make sure we get that taken care of. We will bring you to court. And you can cry on your camera all you want and tell us all about hatred and this, that, and the other. No, we'll bring you to court. We're going to challenge you. This stuff is awful. Look at this. It's sad to see on how many customers got ripped off on this stuff. And I read multiple customer complaints on this product, and everyone said the same thing. It's just everyday house paint. Because they watch us do these demonstrations. Guess what they do? They go out and they buy house paint, and they do the same demonstration. No different. Now this product, the refusal, and we made this and sent it back to him, was made out of $11 worth of hobby paint, which I forgot to add right there. Yeah, $11 worth of hobby paint. So out of $11 of hobby paint, I was able to get, actually I got more than that, but I got 2 quarts out of that, out of $11. So again, even when we got the stuff done here, we had unboxing that we bought from eBay and from this website. Actually from eBay, we bought some from eBay. When I got this website, he started doing dumb stuff like canceling orders. That's when it came to that. But on eBay, when we got a lot of this stuff over here, it didn't do anything special. And then on top of that, as I said before, what kind of testing could we run this stuff on? Because again, he had no testing to back up. Like, he didn't do any color levels, he didn't do any contrast levels, no fully lit environments, no distance throw, no low lumen demonstrations, no out. There was nothing there. So we just went by our test. And of course, it failed. Now, the bigger question also too is how many gray screens are having these reactions. Here we are peeking the yellow. Excuse me. Now, you said that our product was so dark it was unwatchable, right? That means that wouldn't be to pick up at all. Nothing would have picked up. You know, reacts that way, black paint. We got an entire page built on that. So that comes in us with another penalty right there in court. If you were caught in one of these acts of making statements and doing videos of claiming that our products were coming out like so, these lawsuits are much higher, and there is very heavy prison time behind that. We push for maybe 50 years. We want to make sure you stay there. That's a very serious charge at the end of the day. Very serious charge to make against a company. So criminal charges would definitely be yes. So be careful about those too. So if you notice, right, there is the dark colors. I told you about the dark colors? The dark colors. So sunflower seed has these dark colors. Gray screen can't see it. Now see the dark colors in orange? Gray screen can't see it. Here with the butterflies, the canaries. You see the nice bright yellow in the canaries, see the deep red in the background. As you see, gray screen can't read it. But he thought this was considered to be an improvable picture. That's not, man. It's so badly washed out. That demonstration I saw in the, I guess I don't know what that was, some kind of school, whatever. Man, if we had walked in there with a roller and went down the side of your screen, they'd have dropped you from the door to leave. That screen was so washed out, and he had a high-end short throw venue sitting right up on top of the screen. He had size of projector, those venues, and it still couldn't read the screen. And they had to turn out 2 lights next to the screen because the ocean was washing out and the countryside was washing out. You saw that demonstration. We posted it. It was so washed out. Unbelievable. Now, right here, these are the blues. This is how bad it is. We'll cover it up. You can see it from here. That's what you think you're getting. You actually think you're reading blue. How do you fix that for a gray screen? You turn all your lights out. That's how you have to fix it. Shouldn't have to. With a 2.0 game sitting on it, you shouldn't have to have that problem. Now, look at the sky. How beautiful, beautiful sky. Look how it's washed out here. See our white clouds here? So they pushed up nice and bright. If that product came out too dark, you wouldn't be able to see those clouds. It would be virtually impossible. I can't wait till we bring out the black version. Boy, the black version, that thing puts up a higher white level than the actual gray screen. Oh, I can't wait to bring that thing. That's going to be coming out. We're going to be showing some demonstrations of it. It's soon the black version of that technology. We have to have media for the winter time. We're going to have out there to do displays on that. I can't tell you. I just every time I see his paint do something like this, it saddens me that people paid money for that. It really does. It saddens me that people paid money for that paint. Oh my goodness. That is a person who makes this stuff, a person who lives and breathes and loves his job at the end of the day. That is absolutely horrifying that he sold paint on that tree. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something, Jamie. I have no hatred for you, man. I don't. I'm not that type of person. I don't have the hatred for you. It's disappointment is what I have, man. It's disappointment. You could have did much better than that. That is absolutely trifling, man. And it's not just him. It's not put all the blame on Jamie. It's not all him. Because this gray screen to do the exact same thing as this mess at the end of the day. So it's not all him. It's a gray screen, period. Do you have any idea how bad this is going to be if we walk in the courtroom and we do this to your product? And I watch him in these demonstrations go, look at the image, look at the color, look how amazing it looks, you know, you see the bright colors, you can see how vivid it looks, you know what I mean? It just looks amazing. You're like, people are trained in the business, have seen better. We go, no, that's washed out. Gunmetal territory will see that. The gunmetal's way more advanced than that. The gunmetal is like, no, that's washed out. People develop black technology, like, it's not, I can't even see it. Where is it? But the sad thing about it is when people do white and gray screens, if the image pulls up, it ain't got to be the greatest image in the world. It could be the most horrible thing you've ever seen. But because something came up on the screen, they consider that to be passable. Oh, man, that is just absolutely jacked up. couldn't imagine. I don't know how you people do that. I don't know what you do. I couldn't imagine spending that much money for a projector and your image comes up like that. So how come this paint doesn't look the same it does in the demonstration? And oh, I forgot, we're not in a dark environment with a high grade 4K. There you go, I told you right there. We didn't get the same reaction. Why do you think my customers took my spray paint outside? Did we advise them? No, we don't advise them. I don't advise them customers to do anything at all, period. So why do you think they took it outside? Because we talk about our spray paint having this really powerful ambient rejection technology attached to it, right? So that's what they did. They took it outside. Did that disappoint? Nope. Did it pick up? Yes, it did. Guy had a screen on the side of his building watching Netflix, or going through Netflix. You didn't see the projector anywhere in sight, did you? You know how far the projector was sitting back in that demonstration? You see any projector, all to strip, there was nothing. Did you notice that? Because the projector was way up against the gate, that's where it was at. So it was traveling at a distance, struck that screen. Then you don't see the projectors. Well, actually, some of them had ultra short throws, the LG, ultra short, they had that right next to a window. But the other one, the one that had the screens outside on the wall, you didn't see the projector because the projector was on the other side of the backyard. That's why you didn't see it. So it was able to travel at that distance outside, strike that screen, and pick up an image that was just like a TV. And you guys can't get this stuff to run off 300 lumens inside? Good gracious, man. Let's remove this. Oh my goodness. Don't get mad at me at the end of the day. What you mad at me for? You naysayers get upset. What are you getting mad at me for? We're the ones taking you to court. You better worry about. That's what you got to worry about right now. You got to worry about getting yourself some kind of criminal defense attorney. That's what you need to worry about. Because we drag you in a courtroom and we do this to you, you lost that case. You don't have that type of money. You don't have. Yeah, it's going to be a bad situation for you. And then they're going to get you for consumer fraud because you sold this stuff to other people on that lie. Which means now they got to bring you back into court for the charges. For those charges, it's going to be a hairy mess for you. Too late to go in right now and change out your specification sheet. If you sold this stuff already and it's not properly tested, you're in a lot of trouble. If you sold any of it, I don't care if it's one customer, you're in trouble for that. Your stuff has to be tested. You have to know what your stuff actually does. I don't care if it's like 5 years ago. They'll still dig up every single one of those people and say, hey, look, you may have some money coming your way. There's a guy at the end of the day, explain the whole thing that's going on. Yeah, and some people are going to be coming up against you, testifying against you. Like, yeah, I bought that stuff. You're in a lot of trouble, man. Why do you think we test everything before we sell it? That's why. Your product should never look that bad. That is disgusting. Jesus, please. Final test. Kind of access my foot. Oh my goodness. Rush paints. That's what they call rush paints. Didn't even take the time out to make it correctly. Gee whiz. I'm going to make a short video of this. We got to post this all over our sites. We got to, this is going to go everywhere today. We're going to do a post of his video showing off this mess, and then basically show ours on the other end, showing off. Gee whiz Louise. You know, I got this reaction from a lot of great, it's not just him, I tested a lot of great screens. A lot of great screen paints out there. You don't pick up black. You can't say the word black. If you say contrast, you have to explain what type of contrast are you displaying. But you cannot literally use the word black if you don't read it. So I don't know how you would go about that. You're saying you're picking up a contrast level. Contrast can involve dark grays. That can involve contrast. But then when you talk about contrast, what shade of gray are you actually picking up? Because a gunmetal picks up a very dark shade of gray. You don't read that. So what is your shade of gray, and how would you consider it to be in contrast, the levels of contrast? You don't have that in your specification sheet. Good gracious, you guys are open for all types of lawsuits. Alright, I'm going to give you a short video called More Superior Than Gray, our screen paint products. And as I said before, if anyone feels at the end of the day that the demonstration of here is completely false, sign the contract, proceed in court. That's all you got to do. Time if you go bickering, crying, and whining on your channel and all that stuff at the bottom, you see anybody bickering, crying on the channel, just say, hey, sign the contract, see in the court. That's all you got to put down. I bet you they shut it up. That's all you got to do. You have time for no going back and forth. If you want to do a demonstration, claim that our product came out too black, it's going to cost you $10 million in court, and maybe close to about 30, 40 years in jail for basically committing fraud against my business. And if you think we won't find you, I got a buddy of mine, I got a few friends of mine that are cyber, what do they call them? Cyber private investigators. They'll guarantee you 100% you'll find me in 3 days. So you don't want to play those games with them today. Trust me, don't do that. If you can back your product at 100%, be professional about this. Don't say things out of your mouth that will land into a courtroom and get you sued or thrown in jail. You come see us and we'll go to court. And I guarantee you your product doesn't work. Or, better, then what you can do is go on your YouTube channel and say, hey, look, I didn't really research myself correctly, and so on, so on. So this will give you a stronger customer base of trust. You go in and say, hey, look, we didn't do proper testing, we should have did better testing. We're going to redesign the product, and this time we're going to basically put in better testing. This will give you good points. That's what he should have did. When his product first matched house paint, he should have went in and said, hey, look, we didn't do proper testing. Next time around, we're going to redesign all the products, and we're going to make them so that they're all tested with these great products and make sure they don't match. He should have literally said that. That would have built up a great customer base. No, what does he do? He goes in and continues to sell the product long after finding out that it matched. We know because we have it documented. We have a document from the day we caught it, and we go and we do a video on his channel, watching him sell the product, go to his website, showing he's selling it. We were actually keeping a track record showing he was still selling the product. I would be scared to death if this guy owned a store. I would be scared to death. Because he probably had recall on poison hot dogs and stuff like that. And he seems like the type of person that would re-stamp them or try to wash off the dates on them to put something older or something new on them and continue to sell them. He's that type of person. And he was sit there and says, no, I'm not. Buddy, you did it with your screen paint. The minute you found out that stuff was matching house paint, if it was that bad that you had to delete the videos, then that means that you should have went in and stopped selling the product, but you were still selling it. As a matter of fact, we got you on eBay trying to sell a product that we have right here. The Metallica Mix 2.0, we showed you how to make it for free. You sent it to your front door, you sent it back. So you are the type of person that would do something like that. That's dangerous, man. People have to understand, when you do stuff like that, an adult's immune system can take the hit. But if they're older or younger, they could die. You run the risk of killing someone's kid or somebody's grandparent at the end of the day because you were too cheap to basically send either the hot dogs back or throw them away and take the loss. You would rather just reprint something over top and kill somebody like that. That's why we have all these rules in place to keep people from doing stuff like that. The same thing involved with products. You think about the other day when somebody was saying it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Think about how many people have purchased this stuff and what they're dealing with. Think about that. How much money he's ripped off from people. That's a big, big number at the end of the day. He made a lot of money off this product, and he ripped off a lot of people. I don't have a P2 over here, Fernando. We don't have a P2, no 2 million, 1.7 billion colors. We got a Pico projector over here. It can't read on your screen. How do you explain that? You're not getting the same results you got out of your video. You're not even nowhere close to that. And if you sit there and say, well, that paint's not the same as my other paints, it is the same as your other paint. That's why we sent it to your front door, because that's what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to make sure at the end of the day that it's not going to match. But, sheesh, my goodness. I want to look at something on here real quick. On my We have this issue on the invisible screen. As you can see, it doesn't pull up on this one either. Let me see. One thing I want to get real quick. Going to YouTube. You know, you're building customer trust. When the customer goes and gives you his money, it's his trust. 8K desired nature 8K. Oh, belly, this one gets butchered. Usually we get this one butchered pretty bad. That's supposed to be 8 as an 8. And desired. Take that off. We should have it here. I hate doing it with the fire stick. Fire stick, we can't do the option of going in. It just becomes a headache. Now, I saw this demonstration being done on the P2 projector in a dark environment, of course. The woman with the black makeup. That's why in all the demonstrations you see when we do it outside, we do it off ceilings, we do it in, we go to, we go to on sites, we do this all the time to show you that that image should pick up everywhere if your product works. But we saw it one time on a P2 projector in a dark environment and making false statements that, hey, look, I pick up this amazing contrast level on my screen paint. And I'm like, no, dude, you don't. How would it be possible? By the way, we have a copy of that video, so just in case you delete it, we can show the courts at the end of the day that you were basically doing dark environments, high-powered machines. At the end of the day, you try to manipulate your customers and make them believe they're reading the contrast level, when technically they couldn't do it. So 10,000 to 1 on the QME does not work on its paint, as you can see. Now, is it just him? Again, I said it before. It's not just all him. Any gray screen is going to have this issue. So if you have a white screen, you're thinking, hey, I want to upgrade. And mind you, if you're going to upgrade, especially if you're going to be painting over the screen, I wouldn't buy a gray screen to paint over. It's going to cost you a little more money. That's why the white screen still has its value, because again, I'd rather paint over a cheap white screen than a gray screen. Gray screen's going to cost me an extra 50, maybe $100, because it's gray. It's going to be an upgrade. But are you really getting an upgrade? You're not getting an upgrade. Now, we'll pause it here, right there, and we'll put the surface over top of it, because this is what you guys are seeing right there. And then what they'll do to fix the problem, they'll go in and turn out the lights. There we go. Turn the lights out. And that's how they do it in their demonstrations. You turn out the lights and say, hey, look, you're reading a contrast level. Look at the black levels you're able to pick up. You're not picking up any black levels. That screen is completely washed out. That's why they have you in the dark. And for screens that are supposed to be ambient light projection technology, you're in the dark because your colors don't pick up because your screen's gray. But the thing about it is, it makes no difference if you're in the dark. You still can't see black. Because next to a real 100% black screen that can read color and contrast and everything else under the sun, it can beat you with the lights off. It can beat you with the lights on. So when I turn my lights on, our color should stay the same, and the gray screen should be to keep up to it. That's what we are in SC. Now, we turn our lights on. Our screen's still there. Gray screen's not there anymore. This is what you paid for. That's what you got. It's a huge, massive difference between night and day. All right. Hope you enjoyed. I got to go. Thank you for your time. As I said before, if you want the best, better than the best of the best products, if you want to make sure you get what you paid for when it comes to your projector setup, and want to get the most out of your projector's investment, you purchase from us. If you want to continue to get ripped off, get robbed, on these fake products at the end of the day, you buy from them. That's how it works. I mean, nobody wakes up and says, you know what, I'm trying to figure out the best way that I possibly can get ripped off. No one does that. People try to find the best deals that they possibly can get for their setups or for their investment. And for any of you companies out there who feel at the end of the day that this demonstration is not real, let's go to court. That's all you got to do. Sign that contract, and let's walk in a courtroom. Because, man, I'm going to have a ball in there. You know it's going to happen, a ball in there. So, again, I guarantee that no one's going to sign. I guarantee that we're in front of the door. Because, number one, they can't back their product up in any way whatsoever. And we can back our product up 100% on any level you could possibly think of. Now, as I make this statement, how many people right now are making this statement? None. But if you do, we'll come after you. And I will challenge you in court. And I guarantee you, your stuff doesn't work because you claim it works. Can't read a contrast, you lost your marbles. All right, that's basically about it for me. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time, and God bless. I got to do a short video to promo to put it up on the other sites.